episode of Colorcraft. My name is Rachel, and I'm going to be sharing a couple times a month, hopefully, my progress and finished objects in knitting, possibly some occasional sewing projects with fabric that I've block printed, or even some artwork or painting and potentially some yarn dyeing as well. So I currently share a lot of my projects on Instagram, on my personal Instagram page, and then on my Colorcraft page as well. But I wanted to do more and share more and be kind of learn a little bit more about this community, blogging community, and of the projects that I have going. And I hope that you'll watch and that we can interact and exchange information and just kind of have some fun here a couple of times a month. So we've lived in California for 3 years in Huntington Beach, California. And I love it here, and it's sunny all the time, and it's beautiful. It's currently, I've got windows right here out in front of me, and it's beautiful outside. But it's been an adjustment. I lived in Oregon before that my whole life, and we moved here for Trent, my husband's job. And it was, the kids were jumped in and were happy about it right away, and started, skateboarding and surfing and bodyboarding and spending a ton of time outside, which is great. But for somebody who loves fall and likes to wear their wool and that sort of thing, it was an adjustment for me. So I ended up actually not doing a lot of knitting right off the bat, and then just kind of was working on other things. At the time, my son was quite a bit younger, so I was very busy with him. And then as time went on, I realized that I didn't care if I couldn't wear what I was knitting. I wanted to continue making anyway, so now I just send it away if I can't wear it, or keep it and save it and take pictures of it and share it with you guys, because I just love the process even if I don't wear the finished pieces. So what I share with you up into different little segments, and so the first one will just be finished projects. So that's what we'll start here. First thing that I finished is the teddy bear sweater, and I finished this just maybe about a week ago. It's called the teddy bear sweater. I've got Ravelry up here in case I need to reference anything while I'm talking to you guys. So it's the teddy bear sweater by Petite Knits, and I absolutely love the way that it turned out. It's got this marled effect going on. I held together a fingering weight piece of Woolberry Fiberco's yarn, hand-dyed yarn, in the colorway Box of Chocolates, with a piece of Rowan Kid Silk Haze in a what was that, Majestic, so it's kind of like a gray purple, so it just kind of has this almost, I don't know, purpley brown effect, but oh, it's just darling. So this is for my sister. My sister and I are 15 months apart, and like I said, my daughter's 14 and my son is 6, and she's expecting her first. So I'm so excited that we get to add other level to our relationship, to be able to talk about mom stuff and just watch her do that, be a mom, and see how that all unfolds. And then I get to be an aunt to her little girl, so I'm so excited. So I also recently learned that my sister Renee, wants to learn to knit. So it's all I can do to not jump on a plane, fly to Colorado where she lives, and teach her for like a week, just stay. But I can't do that right now. So in the meantime, I'm just knitting all the things for her. Yeah, but I will. But I've already knit her a blanket. I made her some little bloomers, sewed some bloomers when I went out to visit, and also made her a little crib quilt, and then I think, and a hat, a little, that's on my Ravelry page as well. It's this kind of taupe blush colored seed stitch hat, ribbed seed stitch with pom-pom on top. Holden, just a minute, okay? My son has decided that he is going to start a YouTube channel because if I'm going to do it, he's certainly going to, and it's all he can do. He wants to come in and say hi so bad. Do you want to come in? Okay. Say hi.
Hi.
You want to say anything?
I don't know.
You could go get the yarn that you want me to make a sock. The socks you want me to make, we could share that. Want to do that?
I'll go get it.
Okay. So he'll be right back. He's going to share. He picked out colors he wants for really tall socks. He likes to pull his like tube socks up to his knees. So now he wants me to knit him a pair. It'll be really fun to make. So when he gets back, I'll share that with you. But anyway, I'm super excited about how this little sweater turned out. There's more pictures on my page. And yeah, I couldn't be more pleased. I almost don't want to send it away. I just love squishing it and feeling it. But I know that my sister is going to love it. And it's going to be adorable on my new little niece. So, yay, love how that turned out. And I was saving the yarn. Okay. I was saving the yarn for socks for myself, the Box of Chocolates colorway. And so I almost didn't use it for the sweater, but then decided that it'd be perfect, and I'm so glad I did. So I'll just have to buy more of the Box of Chocolates colorway. Hopefully she'll be making more, I hope. So, okay, so you're going to share.
Don't pick them up.
So we have a white German Shepherd named Luna, and occasionally she sheds, just sometimes, all the time. So, no. Oh, goodness. Don't take the label off. We don't... Because if the label comes off, I'm not going to know what kind of yarn and all that, and I like to keep track. So don't take the label off, okay? So anyways, I was going to say there's probably dog hair on everything he's going to show, but because he just set it down on the rug. But okay, so you picked, you want me to make you socks, knee-high socks, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one has like dark blue and a tiny bit of light blue with black.
You're kind of a pro already, and this is just your first time. Okay, so now, you want me to make you socks with just this color, or?
A couple of, 2 more colors.
Because you want me to do, this is the whole sock, and then different colors for the toes and the cuffs?
But, this is for like a design. This one is for like a design on my sock.
Okay, you want me to do some color work on your socks?
Yeah, surprise me with the pattern.
Oh boy, it's going to be a hefty project. Okay, so that is a beautiful color. Let's tell everybody where this is. This is Machete Shop hand-dyed yarn in their simple sock, the 7525, in colorway Agatha. It's a 4-ply super wash merino nylon blend, and it is, you're not kidding, kid. You picked a good one. It is beautiful. I've had it in my stash for quite a while, so I'm not surprised that you went for that one. We might need to have a talk about that. I might need to keep it because I love it.
This one is for the whole
Oh, did you
sock.
take the tag off again?
No.
Oh, okay.
You took it off, remember?
Okay.
This one's the second one. It has like a reddish brown right there and with yellow and turquoise.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is for the,
So
and a tiny bit of black.
That's right. And this is by Hugh Loco. And this is the Robin's Egg colorway, I believe.
No, you remember it's
So this is really, really beautiful. I love this.
I think
This has
that's
been in my
Dad.
stash a while too, and I've been trying to decide what I'm going to do with it.
Oh, that's what
Apparently, Holden gets socks. So
that one's for the whole sock.
I love both these colors. These are different than the ones you showed me last time because you were doing the Lucky Charm and those were really bright. But these are a little bit more
And this one
muted. I like
for
a
the
lot.
toes.
Mm-hmm.
The heel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, purple.
This purple
Love
with a weird green.
And I can't. This is it's hard to see.
Oh, let me see. I want to see that. Oh yeah, there's like 2 on it.
Mm-hmm.
I never noticed that.
So this is by Hugh Loco as well, and let's see. This is her Phyllis sock, which is $75.25.
I'm gonna find more yarn that I like that I might put in it, like a tiny bit of stripes.
All right, so
No, just keep those there.
I don't remember the colorway of this one because she had put it up online. Or I think actually my friend Heidi and I had requested, we liked this so much, we had requested, she didn't have any in her shop, we asked her if she'd be able to dye any up for us. And she said she had a couple left in her that she just hadn't had time to list yet. And so we bought those, and the colorway's not on here, so I'll have to look on her site and see. I can't remember, but it was something that she had dyed up specifically to go with the Lucky Charm colorway that she has, and it's got some purple flecks, which is what he had picked out originally before he changed his mind. I've been working on, so kind of a little backstory. So I'll be talking about this shawl, so I'll show you first. The Tara shawl by Brooklyn Tweed. So it's mainly these, let's see if I can get, it's kind of hard to tell, and there's Luna hairs, but this kind of garter ridge, this dark color is so hard to, there's a little, so it's got these there we go, these garter ridges, and then this lace section at the end. It's a triangle shawl. And then it's got this lace section at the bottom. So it was one of those projects that wasn't difficult, held enough interest, to keep me coming back to it, but not so much that that I lost interest, or it was a good knit while I'm watching a show or something like that. So I loved it. It went by really, really fast. So this is Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in the colorway Almanac, I believe. There it is. Yeah, Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. Love Brooklyn Tweed. I've knit a lot of things out of Brooklyn Tweed, and I just adore it. I love how lightweight the finished projects are when you're done. Something big like a shawl. I knit my dad a sweater once out of their colorway Tent, and it's just so light and comfortable and warm. I just love it. So, and this is the colorway Almanac. So I love this. I don't really need it most of the time, but sometimes at night. It's been cold in the evening here lately, and so I just wrap it around my neck at night just to take the chill off the back of my neck while we're hanging out and watching TV or making dinner or whatever we've got going on, playing some games or whatever, and I absolutely love it. I wouldn't... Okay, down. Let me finish. I'm never going to get through this first episode if you keep interrupting me.
I'm doing my YouTube channel.
I know, I hear you. So, I wouldn't mind knitting that again. And a little backstory about the yarn is, at my last job, my old job, a woman named Roberta, and we became really good friends. We still keep in touch, and she's an artist as well, and kind of left her corporate job that she'd been doing for many, many years to pursue her painting. And so I've been helping her with logos and business card, or her logo and business card for that, and then updating her website with all of her artwork. And way she kind of thanked me was to bring me into her office and show me like 5 Rubbermaid bins full of beautiful yarn, like expensive, gorgeous, stunning yarn that her sister had, and had decided that she wanted to go, I think she was doing cross stitch now or some sort of a needlepoint, and decided she just didn't want to knit anymore. And so she gave all the yarn to Roberta, and Roberta also knits. And so she ended up, we looked through everything, and she pulled out what she liked, and I kind of pointed at the things that I liked, and she ended up giving me what ended up being 3 Rubbermaid bins full of yarn, and I am still giddy over it. So actually that Rowan Kid Silk Haze that's in the that was in the teddy bear sweater was from that stash that she gave me, and then also the Brooklyn Tweed that I knit this out of was in that. And so almost immediately right after I brought it home, I cast this on, and I remember I used to work at Knit Pearl in Portland, Oregon, and I remember we carried Brooklyn tweed yarn, and so whenever the new colors would come in or new patterns would come in, I would just, you know, scope everything out and figure out, you know, what I would want to knit. And this was one of the projects. Somebody actually had come in and needed help with the bind off. It's kind of like a sewn bind off. Somebody had come in and needed help with that, and she had knit it in this exact colorway, and I thought it was stunning. So when I saw this yarn and I saw how much I had of it, I knew that's exactly what I wanted to make. So I did, and I'm so glad I did because I love it. It's so soft and yummy. All right, do I have any other finished? Oh yeah, okay. My last finished project to share with you guys is, so on Valentine's Day, Ellie from Garment House, you can find her, she's at Garment House on Instagram, released a pattern that she had designed called Soul Mate Heart Socks. And I love a good sock project, especially one that flies off the needles, and, you know, DK or worsted weight socks definitely fly off the needles. I had some yarn already set aside that I had bought from Purl Soho online, that I was going to use for some cabled kind of shorty slipper socks that I was going to make for the girls for Christmas that I was never able to get around to doing. So when I saw that in my stash and this pattern come out, I wanted to cast on right away. I just love everything that she makes, and she's just got such beautiful style. Her Instagram page is just lovely. So I saw them and I thought, I'm diving in. So I did, and they're finished. They're wet because they're blocking, but they're finished. So as soon as they came off the needles, my daughter took them. I actually had to go into her room this morning and pull them off her chair to block them. But so they've got this heart motif, and actually the pattern, you can knit them with the heart motif with contrasting heels and toes. The pattern goes into that, or you can just do them plain, and I decided I definitely wanted to do the heart motif. She had messaged that this was kind of her knitting in the round. It jogged a stitch and the heart kind of got wonky there, but that's okay. So for Valentine's Day, it was kind of a gift to everybody. So she released a free knitting pattern / Valentine for everybody. I thought that was so sweet. So it's pretty traditional. I'm still picking Luna hairs off these. So it's a traditional heel flap and gusset. I just did a regular rounded, you know, decrease, you know, a pretty traditionally decreased toe. And then she had a cast on that you kind of do an extra loop in, and it just creates more of a stretchy cuff. And I had never cast on that way before, but I love it. It does make it much more stretchy, and it is kind of a fun cast on, and it looks pretty. It doesn't really look much different than see, I wasn't kidding about the Luna hair. It doesn't look much different than a regular cast on, but it definitely feels nice in your hands when you're putting on the sock. It has a lot of elasticity and then kind of bounces back to where it needs to be, so it doesn't stay stretched, which is nice. So I love these, and they're done. So I'm just waiting for them to dry, and then I have to decide either I'm gonna let my daughter snag them, I may keep them for myself, or what originally was intended was I was going to send them to my sister with the little sweater so she could have some cozy socks when she goes into labor, which I think that's probably what I'll do, because I do have more of this yarn, which I haven't talked about what that yarn is yet. So I have a whole nother skein of it, so I could make them a tad bit smaller for my daughter and send these off to Renee, and then make my daughter a pair. But this is, I got this at Purl Soho. It's Sweet Georgia Trinity worsted. So it's a 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, and 10% silk in the colorway Black Plum. So yeah, but I love it. It's really nice. I think I like the handling of like a woolen spun yarn a little bit better, but these will definitely be more wearing. They're soft, they'll wear well and be soft, and they did a really beautiful job of showing the color work because it is such, you know, a clean yarn. So love clip those. Thanks, Ellie. All right, so now I will go into works in progress. Oh, do I have works in progress? Okay, so let's see.
I'll get something for you.
Thank you. He's waiting under the chair because he's just that excited about this whole thing. Pretty cute. Okay, so another thing, let's see, when did I cast this on? I think I cast this on right after, might have been right after I finished the Tara shawl, the blue Tara shawl. So this is a mohair. I'm holding 2 strands together of, this is all stash yarn from the yarn that I was gifted from Roberta. This is a silk, so I'm holding together, it doesn't say who it is, it almost like it's something that was made maybe at a store, or maybe she bought it at like a privately or something, but it's a silk and alpaca lace weight yarn. It's 30% silk, 70% alpaca. It's really squishy and just has this kind of halo on it. Oh, it's really, really beautiful. I love it. So, sure. And then I'm holding it with the Kid Silk Haze, the Rowan Kid Silk Haze. And I started it with holding this real light color together with a very light blue. So a light blue, which is really just kind of looks white. The mohair with this silk alpaca blend. And the pattern is a free pattern on Ravelry. And it just does this repetition of garter ridges, these little eyelets, 3 rows of eyelets, and then this is a double wrap, like a drop stitch. You double wrap it and then drop it. It's really, really simple and repetitive. I kind of added some bigger blocks of garter as I went along. I ran out of that one blue color, light blue color of the Kid Silk Haze, and I had another color that was just a little darker. You can kind of see I did like a gradient transition where I alternated for a few rows and then started in on here, and I just love this dark color with the alpaca. So I'm going to continue with that, and then I have one other darker skein. You can kind of see, so either I was using the light one, then this is the one that I'm on right now, and then I have one more that's quite a bit darker than this one that I'll do at the end, so kind of have a little bit of a fade. I'm just having fun with it. It's because of the repetition of those 3 pieces that I was showing you with the eyelets and the drop stitch and the garter, you can kind of just go along and do your own thing, and which is fun. So you can just be unique and create it, and you just keep increasing every other row. So it's just going to turn into somewhat of a triangle shawl. And then I decided as I was sitting there that I needed to make a pom-pom. So I took some of that mohair and just some scrap yarn that I had lying around and made a tassel. Did I say pom-pom? I meant tassel. To do a tassel. And I'm noticing my tassel earrings in here. These are by Ellen Beasy. She's on Instagram as well, and she's designs jewelry, and she's amazing. I'll link her down in the bio, but these are her tassel earrings, and I love them. They're one of my favorite pieces of jewelry I own, but I like tassels. So that was a fun little addition. I'll probably add one to the other side, but with the darker blue instead, and that'll just be a fun little piece to wrap around, kind of same thing that I was saying before, that I'll just wear in the evening if I get chilly, or go down to the beach, or whatever we're doing where I might need something fuzzy and warm, which is rare, but when I do, I take advantage. So that's been a really fun project. Something that's been on the needles for, let's see, got 3 other things here that have been on the needles for quite some time, but just can't. I keep finding other projects to start and finish. But I definitely want to work on these. So these are just a plain pair of vanilla socks in this is just a little drawstring bag that I sewed up a while back. It's just got kind of a tweedy fabric, you know, and it pulls closed on the top, and it's got this kind of watercolor blue lining. But I'm holding in it, when I was in Colorado visiting my sister, when I made that quilt for her and we were kind of getting the nursery ready, we went to Fancy Tiger Crafts, which I love that store. I love that it's fabric and roving and needlepoint, and I mean, it's like I could live there. I never want to leave every time I get there. But I noticed that they had in stock the, let's see, Mondim. I'm sure I'm pronouncing Mondim. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but somebody can tell me down in the comments how to pronounce that. But
Comments below.
oh, Holden's telling me. Mommy, say comments below. Tell me in the comments below if you know what this is called. Is that what you say? Okay. I'm gonna figure this whole thing out. So yeah, Mondim. You can let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. And this logo. Oh, give me a break right now with the logo. I just want to like cut it out and stick it in a frame. It's flippin' adorable. So so love that. And so I got quite a few colorways. The other two I don't have with me right now. So I got 4 skeins. I figured every time I look online, it's sold out everywhere. So I thought, while I was there, I'd just get everything that I liked. So I got 4. So I started this vanilla sock. I really enjoy knitting with one long circular magic loop. So these are on a size 1. I just did a ribbed cuff here with this blue for the contrast tone heel. And then the one that Holden just got for me is this one that's kind of like, it's black, blue, pink, kind of like a natural brown color. It's really pretty. And then the contrast that I got for it is this yellow for the toe. So I love adding kind of random vibrant pops for the toes, especially on something that's, especially on just like a vanilla sock. But I was not expecting it to pool like this, which I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. So I'm trying to decide if I want to start over and see if I can start it in a different place to see if it doesn't do that or not. But the fabric is super stretchy. You can tell they're going to be really long wearing. I'm excited about that. These are gonna, I know I'm gonna love these socks. I'm definitely keeping these for myself. But yeah, I kind of want to see if I can figure out how to get these to not pool. So as Holden would say, comment down below if you have any good tips on how I can.
That's how you say it. That's
Yes,
how you say it normally.
Oh, okay.
Not my way. Not just my way.
So comment below and let me know if you've got any good tips on, you know, kind of either keeping that from happening or ripping out and starting over and making sure it doesn't happen, or if I'm just out of luck and that's the way they're going to be, which is fine with me too, because I still think they're gorgeous, but I was hoping they wouldn't pool like that. I kind of wanted the kind of the stripey thing that's going on here to happen with this as well. But anyway, so that yarn is gorgeous. I'm really excited about it. And I'm hoping I can get these suckers off the needle so I can start wearing them with my Birkenstocks. My daughter, Olivia, picked out this yarn online here. And this is by It's a Stitch Up. It's a Stitch Up Knit and Color. And her online shop is itsastitchup.co.uk. And the colorway is Magical Unicorn. And it's pretty cool. So she too wants to wear it with her Birkenstocks. And she picked this really bright, so I have them started here. I'm doing a Afterthought heel in this neon yellow she picked, which is fun. And I love the way that the yarn is knitting up. It's really fun, kind of a little bit stripy, a little bit speckled. It's really fun.
We're not out.
But I bought this little contrast yarn thinking that it was bigger than it was, and I ran out, and I'm only one sock in. So I just ordered from Fancy Tiger 2 of these Madeline Tosh unicorn tails in Edison bulb. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this heel out. I have a little bit left, so I'm going to rip this heel out, do it in the Edison, leave the cuff in here, and then I'll do the next cuff in this, and then the heel and toe. They're very similar, so you won't even be able to tell, but this is a little bit of a thinner fingering weight, and this was, it might have been more of a sport weight, so it feels a little thick. So I think it will be better for up at the cuff, and that these unicorn tails will feel nicer on her heel and toe in a thinner yarn. So that's what I'm gonna do. She's been begging for them. I've been working on them for quite some time, and again, just seem to put them down and pick other things up. So she's excited for me to finish these. I promised her I would, so I better get on it. So yeah, Vanilla Socks, Afterthought heel, Madeline Tosh Edison. It's a stitched up in Magic Unicorn. All right, and last but not least on my needles is Penguono, and it has been on my needles for a really long time. August 21st. It's quite a while. I really like it, but I was just kind of, there was other things I wanted to do, and it's fun to pick up and kind of add to, which is nice. It's what's so nice about this project, because it's so scrappy. You can just kind of pick it up, knit a little while, put it down, work on another project, pick it up. So it'll eventually be done, but it's taken me a while. But if you go to my Ravelry page, you can see, did I put, I don't even think I have that. I do have a notebook where I'm keeping track of all the different yarns that I'm using. So I can put that up on Ravelry and share that with you guys, but it's mostly just all my stash yarn that I have left over from socks or from when I worked in a Pearl or whatever. So, but there's a section here that's just got this kind of like maroon and purple, these really cool welts, which were super fun to make in different colors. This is the back. Just kind of faded in some different colors here. These are the welts on this side, more of a blue. That one's a gray. So lots of different, kind of keeping to a theme of grays, blacks, teals, and kind of pops of that pink. But I know I'm gonna love having this when it's finished, so I'll wear it all the time. In the evenings, not during the day, but yes. So I'll bring that in to share as I add to it. Otherwise, it'll just be a standing project in the background that I pick up. So I definitely wanted to share anything that I ordered or anything that I went out and shopped locally while, you know, in between podcasts. I already shared with you the pink yarn that I got, the well, not pink, but maroonish color yarn that I got for these from Pearl Soho, and then from Fancy Tiger, I ordered the unicorn tails, and then the yarn that I got, the sock yarn I got in Colorado. But something that I'm excited to try on my next sock project is I think I might have first saw these on Grocery Girls, I'm pretty sure. But they're flexible from Addie. They're flexible double pointed needles, and they come with 3 so that you can knit your socks with these flexible little double points, which is such a cool idea. So I can't wait to try those. They took forever to get in the mail. I ended up having to order them. I think they came from somewhere in Europe, but they took forever to get here. But when they finally did, I've been waiting. So I'm thinking if I pull out my Modem socks, Mondem, I'll find out eventually. My Mondem socks that I might recast on these if I try to figure out a way to keep that from pooling. But yeah, these are fairly new, and if anybody's tried these, let me know what you think. I'm interested. I like knitting socks with double points. I feel like I'm faster with Magic Loop, and they're easier to just throw in the bottom of my bag or keep in like a bag that I've made and throw that into my purse. I can keep track of everything a little bit better, but I'm excited about kind of these suckers to see how they work and how much I like them. So I will let you know when I get going. All right. Well, in future episodes, I plan to share any other sewing projects, like project bags. I have plans today to do some block printing of my logo, actually for this podcast, so that when I add it, I can use it on the podcast. I have it designed on, I designed it in Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, but I thought it would be fun to make a block print of it, and then block print that onto some fabric and make some project bags for myself. So I think I'm going to work on that today, and if it turns out cool looking, then I will also scan it into my computer and use that maybe in the intro to the podcast. So thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for being patient with me as I get going on this and kind of learn the flow and kind of how I want this all to go for next podcasts. And I hope that you'll check back in and subscribe to the channel, and that you'll come back and see more when I have more to share. Like I said, I'm going to try to post a couple of times a month, and maybe like Friday evenings or Saturday mornings, twice a month. Every once in a while, I'm sure Colton will join me and talk to you about the things that he wants me to knit him, and even Olivia may pop in. So the other thing that I love is cooking, and my husband is amazing in the kitchen. So every once in a while, he's got something awesome and yummy, and so I may share recipes here as well. Yeah, so if you have any questions or you want to know anything else about me, go ahead and ask, and I'll try to answer on the next podcast. And follow along on Instagram, and you can check out any of my projects, my past projects on Ravelry, and I will see you next time. Thanks, bye.